Today's lesson is 6-5 Reteaching. The objective for this lesson is to multiply a decimal by a whole number. Let's take a look at this word problem. Travis can read a book chapter in 2.6 hours. The book has 18 chapters. How long will it take Travis to read the book? So before we solve this problem, we're going to first find an estimate. And I'm looking at the two numbers to kind of figure out if my final product is going to be greater than 1 or less than 1. So right here I have the comparison of my two factors to 1. So I see that 18 is greater than 1 and 2.6 is also greater than 1. That tells me, because my decimal isn't less than 1, that tells me that my product is going to be larger than both of my factors. So I'm going to find an estimate first by rounding, and then I'm going to look at compatible numbers. So 18 I'm going to round up to 20, and then 2.6 I'm going to round up to 3, because the 6 is more than halfway to 3. So I multiply the 2 and the 3, I get 6, and then I'm going to add my 1 0 onto the end. So our estimate here is going to, using rounding, is going to be 60 hours, about 60 hours it'll take him to read the book. Next I'm going to look at using compatible numbers. So I'm going to take 18 and I'm actually going to round it down to 15, and I'm going to multiply it by 3 again. This way I'm kind of moving the 18 down and the 2.6 up, so kind of it might help balance out how much I'm changing those numbers. And 15 is one of those numbers that I think of when I think of the clock. So you can think of this as 1:15, this as 2 15s, two groups of 15, and this as 3. So my answer for this estimate is going to be 45. So using compatible numbers, I'm going to get approximately 45 hours versus my estimate for, or using rounding. So to find the actual product of this problem, I'm going to first ignore the decimal point that's over in the 2.6 right here, and I'm just going to multiply this as if it were 18 times 26. So I'm going to start in the ones place with that 6 like I always do. 6 times 8 is going to be 48. Put my 8 down there and carry my 4. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 4 up there is going to be 10. So now I have my first partial product. Now I need to move over to the tens place where my 2 is. So here I have my first partial product, and I'm ready to find my second partial product to help me get to the final answer. So I'm going to put my 0 here because I'm moving over to the tens place, over here with the 2. And then I'm going to do 2 times 8 is 16. Put my 6 down, carry my 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 up above is going to be 3. So now I have my second partial product, and I'm ready to add those two together to find my final product. So here we have both of the products. We're going to add them just like we normally would. 8 plus 0 is 8, 0 plus 6 is 6, and then 1 plus 3 is 4. So now we have 468 is going to be our final product for 18 times 26. But we need to remember that we're dealing with the decimal here, so we need to figure out where we're going to place that decimal point. So take a look at the transition that we've made from our actual problem, the 18 times 2.6, to the 18 times 26. So I'm going to go ahead and place my decimal into this problem on the right. It's going to be right here between the 2 and the 6. And I only have one decimal place here, so I'm only going to have 1 in my answer. I'm going to move that decimal point over just one space, so it goes between my 6 and my 8. So the final answer to our decimal problem over here is going to be 46 times 8. And if you think back to our estimates, we found 2. With rounding, we found 60 hours, and with the compatible numbers, we found 45 hours. So I think the compatible numbers actually got us a little bit closer, because our actual answer, our actual product here, is that it's going to take Travis 46.8 hours to read his 18-chapter book.